Welcome to another edition of the Bible in the News. This is Paul Billington commenting on Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu's statement last week linking Adolf Hitler with the wartime Palestinian Arab leader, the Mufti Haj Amin al-Husseini, and the Holocaust. Not surprisingly, his comments drew a sharp response from President Barack Hussein Obama, to give him his full name, of the United States, because Netanyahu's statement was, he said, inflammatory rhetoric. Netanyahu's remarks were an overstatement and not quite accurate, because Hitler had initiated the Holocaust before the Mufti met him in 1941. However, Dr. Yosef Shavet, a historian of the Jewish history and contemporary Judaism department at Bar-Ilan University, told Arutz Sheva news program that, aside from the inaccuracies, I think that thanks to Netanyahu's words, we come out of this with a benefit, because he dealt with the centrality of the Mufti, who for some reason has been taken off the historical stage in everything related to the Holocaust, said Sheravit. The historian emphasized to Arutz Sheva that there is great importance in noting the part played by the Palestinian Arab Mufti in the Holocaust. When Haj Amin al-Husseini met Hitler in November 1941, he told him that there's a stark similarity between Nazism and Islam, explained Shavit. Husseini was responsible for establishing SS units in the Balkans. He was friendly with senior SS commanders and was responsible for Berlin radio broadcasts in all the Islamic lands. His Berlin radio broadcasts would always end by calling to slaughter the Jews. He also was among the initiators of the final solution for Jews in the land of Israel, and if senior Nazi commander Erwin Rommel would have, God forbid, reached Israel, Haj Amin al-Husseini had a detailed plan to destroy the Jewish community. Dr. Shavit stated that the Mufti was even considered a greater Nazi criminal than Adolf Eichmann. He was a figure known better than Eichmann until he, Eichmann, was brought to Israel when he was executed, says the historian. The Palestinian Mufti Husseini had instigated the 1929 massacre of Jews in Hebron and began the terror campaign against them before the State of Israel was formed in 1948. What is happening today in Israel is a continuation of the war against the Jewish people waged by the Palestinians. It is nothing new. In fact, it is that perpetual hatred spoken of by the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 11. In the prophecy of Ezekiel against Mount Seir, chapter 35, the hatred of anti-Semitism is clearly indicated. Mount Seir is Edom and Esau, see Genesis chapter 36 and verse 8. And that hatred is directed against the mountains of Israel, the so-called West Bank today, specifically. Ezekiel wrote, "Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them, when I have judged thee, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, They are laid waste, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them." That's Ezekiel 35, verses 10 to 13. The two nations referred to are Judea and Samaria, restored as a result of the War of June 1967. The Jewish presence there and in Jerusalem today is the work of God, as can be seen from Joel chapter 3 verse 1. All the words spoken against that situation are therefore spoken against God, Ezekiel 35 verse 13. It is blasphemy because it is God who has brought it about. So the Palestinians and all those nations which speak in support of the Palestinian terrorists are boasting against God. Israel is God's choice. Hence, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. This prophecy of Ezekiel 35 shows us that those who have perpetual hatred against Israel will be made desolate, like the literal Edom, which no longer exists. Returning to the connection between Hitler and the Palestinians, Dr. Wolfgang Schauetz, the Middle East Forum scholar, gave Netanyahu historical support. He said, "It is a historical fact that the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem, Haj Amin al-Husseini, was an accomplice whose collaboration with Adolf Hitler played an important role in the Holocaust." Schauetz stated, "He was the foremost extra-European advisor in the process to destroy the Jews of Europe." In defending his own remarks, Netanyahu quoted the testimony of Adolf Eichmann's deputy at the Nuremberg trials after World War II, who said, "The Mufti was instrumental in the decision to exterminate the Jews of Europe. The importance of his role must not be ignored. The Mufti repeatedly proposed to the authorities, primarily Hitler, Ribbentrop and Himmler, to exterminate the Jews of Europe. He considered it a suitable solution to the Palestinian question." The Israeli-Palestinian conflict must be understood in its historical context. There can be no solution to this situation as long as the truth is brushed aside as an inconvenience. The world and its biased media are blaspheming against the God of Israel, and they must answer for it. Thank you for reading or listening to Bible in the News. Check it out again next week.